Hi, welcome to Lee and Layla's Travels, and we're here to go through exactly what it costs and what to do on a package holiday for a family of 5 to Orlando, Florida. So I'm going to talk you through everything that we booked and did during our 2-week stay in Orlando, Florida, and this is going to be based on a 2-week Easter holiday period in Orlando, Florida. So you may or may not be aware, but that is known to be, one, the most expensive time to travel and stay there, and two, the busiest period. So it's going to give you, a good overview of the most expensive and the busiest period. Now, I know that may sound quite frightening to a lot of people because of cost, and no one wants to be stood in queues all day, etc. But unfortunately, as families and school time, it does end up being one of the only times that does seem to be suitable when you have children. So for us, it was the only time really we could go, and so therefore that's where we went, and that's the time that we went. So and that's this year, 2025, that we did that holiday. So I'll talk you through all the basics from the very beginning. So I decided to book through Virgin Holidays. I looked online initially, found some of the quotes that I wanted, but I did decide to actually go into a Virgin shop to book it, only because I felt like with handing over large amounts of money over the internet, paying deposits, I was a little bit apprehensive, and I just felt for myself I would feel securer doing it with a representative.
Yeah.
There is no extra cost to do that, so if that is what you want to do, then do feel free to contact them. There's quite a few that are based in like Next super stores and in like big shopping centres. There's not as many as there used to be. But there is certainly some based around. We're based in the West Midlands, and there's certainly a few Virgin shops that you can access in this area.
I think it gave you more peace of mind, didn't it, to be honest?
Yeah.
That you go into a store and instead of you going online and booking it all yourself, that a representative is doing all the hard work for you, isn't it?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I knew exactly what I wanted as I stepped foot in that shop, so they weren't searching or looking for anything for me. I walked in and told them what I wanted, and they just basically pulled the offer up and booked it for me, really. So we wanted to go and try and get it as cheap as possible, so we did decide to do it on more of a budget because it is the most expensive period to go in Florida. So we decided that International Drive would probably be a good starting point. Now, you'll have to bear with me a little bit as I kind of go through information here. This holiday that we went on is the 3rd time that we have been to Florida. So I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I would say that I have good knowledge now around what is good, what is bad, what's expensive, what's not expensive.
I'd say more so than others, yeah.
Yeah, it's our 3rd trip there, 2nd time in the Easter period. So we decided, because our family has expanded and we're now a family of 5 travelling, that we want to try and get the price down a little bit, the best that we could. So we decided we're going to do it as what we would call a budget.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, this may not seem a budget to many people because we are talking, lots and lots of thousands of pounds. But to us, knowing how expensive you can make Florida, this is, as far as I'm concerned, deemed as a budget trip.
And to be fair, there is no budget in Florida, is there?
Exactly.
It's a very pricey holiday. They class it as once in a lifetime holiday, so it is very expensive.
Yeah. So what we did is we did a quick quote on Virgin, we put in the dates, and we trialled and error a couple of different dates during that period to see the best kind of prices that we could get. So with us being in the West Midlands, we didn't want to fly too far away, so we put in flights from Birmingham, we did flights from Manchester, and then I think the other biggest airlines locally, or say locally, they're not that local,
Heathrow, wasn't it?
Was Heathrow. Now Virgin actually don't fly from Birmingham as far as I'm aware. If you wanted to fly from Birmingham, that would be TUI. So we did do quotes with both companies. So what we noticed is that during the Easter period, actually, there was differences of school holiday dates, which did change the prices a little bit. So we flew on the 14th of April and we flew back on the 28th, but didn't arrive back until the 29th of April. Yeah. That did actually mean, though, that the children did have to take 2 days off school because it is only 2 weeks, but we was there for 15 nights altogether. Flying on the Monday, which was the 14th, meant that the children were missing the Monday and the Tuesday upon their return. And that did make it cheaper. by about £1,000. If we was to have flown on the Saturday or the Sunday, as I said, it would have added £1,000 on. But the best way to do it is just put in a few different dates, play a little bit, a couple of days here and there into term time. It's really not going to prove much of an issue in terms of getting fines or anything like that. I'm not going to encourage people to say that the children are sick, and I didn't say that the children were sick on this occasion. I did just be honest and say that we're away for 2 weeks and these are the only flight times that we could access, and therefore they are taking 2 days off school. So that was that. So that's how I managed to find the flights, etc. So came up the best option for us was flying from Manchester. And so that's the decision that we went with Virgin. We did look through TUI as well, but the price still was coming in the best flying with Virgin. Now that was on just the normal economy package. It was not anything, what's it called, the economy
delight.
Yeah, so that was without economy delight. Now I'll put the exact figure on the screen so you can see exactly how much that came to. But yeah, so it was looking roughly about £6,500, and I'm going to go exactly into now what that actually incorporated in the £6,500. So that is a family of 5, 2 adults and 3 children, children being aged 16, 9 and 6 at the time.
Yeah, that's it.
So that was, so we looked at the different hotels and what we thought would be the best, and Rosen Inn International came up as the cheapest offer, with the best location in terms of you're able to walk to restaurants, and there is transport links all locally on that road that can get you to where you may need to get to.
And right outside the hotel is the world's biggest McDonald's.
So very convenient if you have children who eat crap food,
with a massive soft play as well.
Yeah, so it's very, very handy. We did eat there multiple times, but there is not just that there at the Rosen Inn locally. There is a lot more, but let me just touch on the hotel itself, so the package itself. So we booked the Rosen Inn International, and that was for a family of 5. Now, one down thing with that hotel is it only accommodates up to 4. And then for the 5th person, you do have to pay for an extra bed in your room. So that's not incorporated into your price. That was, I think it was about $18 per night.
$18 per night, yeah.
You can imagine, for 2 weeks, that's going to really add on a lot onto your budget, on top of the price that you've already paid. So it wasn't great, but a little tip. If you want to go to Walmart, which is local, you can pick up an airbed with the pump for roughly $40. So that does work out cheaper, and it's basically the equivalent of what they're going to offer you anyway in the hotel. So yeah, Rosen Inn International. And then secondly, flights I've already touched on, Virgin. And then we added on a car. So we hired a car that was a Nissan Altima. Now we did choose that car, and the reason why I chose that car is when you go onto the bookings to see what cars you want, and again, it may be cheaper if you want to book that separately, but for just ease of comfort as a family of 5, we did just decide to do that directly through Virgin. But trust me, there is other companies that you probably would have got a better deal with, which would I can't remember all of the companies. Alamo is one of them. Yeah. And who was the company that we hired our car from?
Oh, I can't. Is it Avis or something? I can't remember now. I can't remember.
Alamo is a really big popular one. We've hired from them previously.
But what I will say about the car is it was an absolutely beautiful car.
Yes.
Really nice drive, and it's actually made me want a Nissan Altima. However, they don't do it in the UK, which is gutting. But it's a really nice car.
It was a really, really nice car. So we chose that car because when you go onto the booking with Virgin, it shows you how many suitcases the cars will hold, and knowing how many of us was going, I knew that I needed a big capacity, but I didn't want to start paying into like big truck cars. So it was the biggest, I'd say, small car without going to like 4x4s.
It's classed as a saloon, isn't it?
It's a saloon car, yeah. So it was a really, really nice car. So we paid for that. We also paid extra, which roughly came to about, I think it's about £300 to £400 more to have the best insurance. Now, I wanted that for ease of mind, that if I crashed the car and ultimately it was my fault, that instantly I won't have anything to pay.
Yeah.
And they'd be replacing the car within an hour, because you do not want to be getting into that stress when you're in Florida.
And put me at ease, going to a different country, driving the other side of the road. It's all freeways over there.
Yeah.
And the peace of mind that you ain't got to worry about. If you have a crash, fair enough, you've got your family in there, I understand that, but if the car gets damaged, you don't want that stress of worrying about getting how much is the repair's going to be. You know that you've paid the £400 in, like they told us. You just call them, they'll come up, they'll take that car away, and they'll bring you a new one at the same time, and then you're back on your way.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that.
And if you've never been to America, Florida before, believe me, it's not like driving in the UK, because people don't care for the roads, they don't care for the rules, people are flying down roads really fast. It just seems like the law doesn't exist on roads in Florida.
So the biggest 2 tips I can give you, one which you learnt off somebody else, didn't you, is 1, pick a car and just follow it. How they drive, just follow it. That's 1. I learnt that, and that was really handy for me. And the secondly is you can turn right at a traffic light when it's red. So if the traffic light's red there, you can turn right, and there's cars flying down there, and you can just turn right.
Yeah. Bizarre.
Bizarre.
Obviously, you're only going to do that if it's clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do it even though it's on red. So that's the car situ. We picked the car up when we got to the airport. So just touching back on the flights again, you need to hire your meals for the children before you go. So you can do that on the Virgin Atlantic. That's the other confusing thing. So I'll touch on that now. Actually, there's 2 websites. Virgin Holidays, Virgin Atlantic. Virgin Holidays is for all your holiday info, and Virgin Atlantic is specifically for your flights. So to get your flight details and to book your meals, you need to do that through the Virgin Atlantic website. So 2 different websites, so you'll be being thrown between them constantly, which is very confusing, and I really don't rate that as part of Virgin. It was even very complicated to check in before we got there. It was throwing me between the 2. It was not accepting our details. It was a nightmare, to be honest. Probably one of the worst airlines I've flown with in terms of just trying to get your information that you need to get on the plane. It just seemed not user friendly at all, and also the apps on certain devices, it doesn't work well. So I've got an Android phone, and like the things, like the icons at the bottom are not where they should be, and so you're trying to scroll up your screen and they don't come on and stuff. So that's really.
But just remember, if you're not a technophobe, my brother had issues with trying to check in that. It was easy at the airport, weren't it? It was a seamless transaction at the airport.
If you can't do it, just do it at the airport. It really isn't a big deal if you've not checked in online. They'll do it all.
Baggage drop was perfect, weren't it?
Yeah.
Easy. Just put it on the machine. They give you a printer. You wrap it around your suitcase, and off it goes.
Yeah.
Seamless transaction. Yeah.
So I booked the children's meals before we went. You didn't get a choice. It was just ordering a children's meal, and they're not very children friendly either. So, as you know, children nowadays, 90% of them, I'd say, are fussy, because it's just a different generation of children now, isn't it? They get what they give. They get to choose their meals, and they like chips and chicken nuggets and lots of unhealthy things.
I think every kid loves chicken nuggets.
I think it was a tomato pasta, which didn't taste very nice, and some other things, but they weren't too bad. But we have done a full travel series with all of this information, so you'll be able to see some of the videos of the food options now, which we'll add onto the screen now. So we'll show you a couple of videos of the food options that was offered to us on the flight with Virgin.
So she's got pasta and sauce, a coconut collab, some fresh veg, and some orange juice.
So here's what we have for dinner. We've got a bit of salad. This is sausage and mash. I haven't opened it yet, with bread, butter, cheese, Jacob's crackers, and a salt pudding. And then, as I said, wine. I've still got a gin left as well, so this is going to be really fun. Oh, let's have a look at these. Oh, that looks delicious. 1 sausage, yeah. So, flew from Manchester. We did decide to stay the night before, and we booked a cheap hotel, didn't we? Which just helped the ease, because there were early morning flights, weren't they? Well, because obviously with the drive and stuff.
And we stopped at the Premier Inn Express, which is basically at the end of the runway at Manchester, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was very, very convenient.
Yeah. And we also booked car parking at Manchester Airport. And that was about £100 for 2 weeks parking. But do just be mindful, if you are going for the cheaper options of parking, is that you are getting on a bus, and it is about 20 minutes.
20 minutes, and you're waiting for the bus.
You have to wait for the bus, and the car park was so busy. I think it was the busiest I've ever seen a car park, isn't it, really?
But the secure car park was very secure. You know, no problems. The car was looked after, so
yeah.
And it was right next to the runway, so you could see all the planes landing.
Yeah.
I'll try that. You can see that now. Actually, I'll show you that. Here it comes. Big one. 2 in it. Here's the bus. Here's the bus.
Yeah. So that's the package holiday that I want to just briefly touch on. So like I said, that is, I'll get the exact figure and put it on the screen, but it was roughly coming in at about £6,500, and that included your flights, your hotel, and your car hire. Now, what we didn't know until we arrived was that actually booking through Virgin gave us a few complimentary meals with the Rosen Inn, so that was a nice surprise when we got there.
Yeah.
There was 2 breakfast and 1 main meal, wasn't it? So that was nice, saved just a bit of money, so that was dead good. But what I want to touch on now is the other biggest part about going to Florida, which is your attraction tickets.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
You think, oh, you've just booked a package holiday and that's your price done, but it isn't, because if you go into Florida, you're going there for a reason, and that may be you want to do Walt Disney World. Obviously, that's one of the biggest reasons. Universal Studios is another big area. You've got your SeaWorld and various other different theme parks. So I'm just going to go through the theme parks that we did and the packages that we took out to go to Florida on this occasion. So we decided to get 2 package deals through attraction tickets. Now, I've always looked at attraction tickets for them, and I often check back at different dates, because sometimes you find that people are offering like 10% discount, 20% discount, but actually what you find is it's never discounted. That is always the price, but they just increase the price and then say 10% off. But during Black Friday, so looking between like the November period, end of October to end of November, attraction tickets does do Black Friday, and from all the times I've checked, it is by far the best deal that they tend to offer, and it's normally they'll knock off about £800 off the price, which to me I think is a huge
absolutely huge. It pays for the car.
Yeah,
that's what you look at. It pays for your car.
Yeah. So we took out 2 package deals. First one being Walt Disney World. We wanted to have a 14-day ticket giving us unlimited entry in and out of the parks for all of the Disney packages. So we booked that one, and that was for all of us, and I think it roughly came to about, I think it was about £2,700, and that was for all 5 of us. So we did have to pay 3 adult prices and then 2 children prices because of their ages. Then we decided that we wanted to book on, because we hadn't done it for a very long time, which was SeaWorld, but also we wanted to do Busch Gardens and Aquatica because we'd never ever done those before. So we just did like an ultimate package with those 3 parks. Now what we was actually booking, and all we wanted, knowing because we'd already got Walt Disney World included in there, is we just wanted a package to have 1-day entry into them. So 1-day entry into SeaWorld, 1-day entry into Busch Gardens, and 1-day entry into Aquatica. Now that was priced up at roughly £159 per person for that package. And that was for the 3 parks, 1-day entry. But what they did was, as I come to the end, I didn't even realise this was the offer that they were submitting, but it actually upgraded our tickets as part of the package offer, so that we then got 2 weeks ultimate entry.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant.
So that was a really good price, because if you think how much we've paid on just Disney World tickets, which was like almost, £3,000, to then have the SeaWorld Aquatica and then have that upgraded to 2 weeks was brilliant. But then they also added on all-day dining.
And that is fantastic.
If you can get that in your ticket package, I would 100% recommend it, because it is going to save you a fortune, because food is not cheap in Orlando.
And you can eat unlimited, basically. I think you have to wait every 90 minutes. And the park opens at 10 a.m. and closes at 6 p.m. Every 90 minutes you can have a full meal. And our full meals were coming to about, for the 5 of us, about $200, weren't it? Per meal. Obviously we only get twice because we're not greedy, but I am.
It was fantastic. It really
Fantastic
was. And
value.
the food was good, and there were so many places you could use it with. And it doesn't just include a meal, but it includes a dessert, a starter, a drink. So it was really, really good value for money. So that was added on. Now, that wasn't 2 weeks unlimited food, because trust me, I probably would have just ditched Disney World and gone to SeaWorld every day for my dinner or whatever. But no, it was just 1 day per use. So we could use it once in SeaWorld, once in Aquatica, and once in Busch Gardens. And yes, that was brilliant. So all in all, after, it should have been roughly £4,000 for these tickets that we added on, but then come the discount. So they then added on the Black Friday discount, which roughly took off about £800. So all in all, for that we could pay £3,200.
That's
which
for 2 weeks from back.
And remember the 3 days all day dining and unlimited access. Now, you may be wondering, why have we not decided to do Universal? But trust me, if you're going for 2 weeks, there is no way you're going to fit all that in. You're not going to get the full enjoyment of the parks if you're going to go full throttle and even do Universal as well. So for me, it's one or the other. You're either going to do the Universal, or you're going to do the SeaWorld, or you're going to do Universal and SeaWorld and skip Disney. Because otherwise you're just not going to be able to fit it all in.
And one of the main reasons for me not booking Universal is I get motion sick, and most of the rides at Universal are motion rides, aren't they?
They do have a lot of motion rides, but they do have a lot of water rides and stuff. So it's hard to dismiss it on that factor. I think you just had a bad run a couple of days. But if you think about all the water rides and stuff they have, like, you can
it is good there. It's got City Walk there, which is beautiful.
So City Walk's really nice. We've done Universal before, so I think I'll talk about Universal maybe a little bit later. So you can touch on a little bit about different holidays that we've done. So now what I would like to do is go through each individual theme park that we have been to, what it has to offer, and show you the highlights. So what are the pros, what are the cons, and some tips and tricks to get the most out of your holiday whilst you're there, and what are the definitely go-to shows, and maybe you could give those shows a miss. Obviously, this is dependent on the age of your children. You need to remember that our children are older. They're not toddlers, they're not babies. Now, obviously, if you're going into Magic Kingdom and you've got young children, there's going to be a lot of rides that you're not going to do the same as us because of height restrictions, whereas we were very lucky that all our children met the height restrictions on this occasion, so we didn't have to worry about that in the Disney World parks anyway.
So we're going on to Magic Kingdom first, aren't we?
Yep, so we'll talk about Magic Kingdom.
So the first part of Magic Kingdom is the opening times. It's open 8 a.m. in the morning, sometimes till 11 p.m. at night, but the vast majority is 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Leila tell you because I'll get too excited about one certain part of that, so I'll tell you that at the end of Magic Kingdom.
So they'll give you, so first thing is once you've got your Disney World tickets, that you've got through attraction tickets, you need to link them to the app. This is absolutely vital because if you want to book on, that gives you all the show times, it also gives you all the queue times, but it also gives you the availability to make dining reservations. So if you're interested in making dining reservations, you need to get that app and you need to get it sorted, and it goes live for you to be able to book dining reservations 60 days before you travel. If you're wanting to dine with characters or do some of the really popular dining reservations, you need to be on it. I'll go to about them exactly on that 60 day to get exactly what you want. So sort out the app, get that ready and all linked before you travel, and look at booking your dining reservations 60 days before. That also gives you access to the lightning lanes if you want to book those. That is not something we did during our journey, so I won't give you any information on that because
we can't give you any.
We didn't do it. What I can say is we didn't need it, and it was the busiest period, but I'm quite happy to wait in lines. Some people aren't, so that is going to be a big difference in people's views.
And waiting in lines, against lightning lanes, it's air conditioned, most of them. You're cooling off because that temperature's 35, 36 degrees, and you are cooking like 12, 2 o'clock in the day. You are cooking.
Even later than that, like sometimes even till 6 o'clock, it is absolutely stifling. So my first tip and trick for all of the theme parks, but especially Magic Kingdom, is you're going to get there for rope drop.
Yes.
Rope drop means that you are in that park before the park has opened.
Yep.
Now, Magic Kingdom has transportation. You're parking way outside of Magic Kingdom. So it's going to take you, once you've got to the car park,
20 minutes.
Maybe longer, depending on how busy it is. Also, one annoyance is you're going to have to pay for car parking if you are choosing to drive there.
And it's not cheap.
$30.
Which is about £25 a day.
So $30 to park. Just Rosing Inn, actually, free parking.
Yes,
so that's
very
a good positive. So Magic Kingdom, so transportation, so car park. You could be quite far away from the actual transportation to get to the park. So you then may, and you will see on some of our videos that we can show you, have to go on a land train.
Yeah.
That will take you from the car park to the entrance just of the transportation. So this is not the entrance to Magic Kingdom, this is just simply the entrance to the transportation. Now once you arrive for the transportation, you're going to have a couple of options. You can get the monorail,
yeah,
or you can get the ferry boat, both of which are quite convenient. Either or, I'd say, are as good as they can be, really. We liked going on the ferry boat.
Very picturesque.
And actually you get more people on the ferry boat.
Yeah.
So when we spoke to some of the cast members, they did say that the ferry boat can be the quickest route. But it's pretty, isn't it? It's nice to go on a boat, isn't it? And then you can see the big castle as you're arriving into it. So ferry boat. So you get there, you go on the land train from the car park, you choose your transportation, whether that be the monorail or the boat. We'll choose the boat, so you can have a little look after I've gone through this, and I'll show you some clips of Magic Kingdom. And then get into the park, and you want to be in the park by at least 15 minutes before it's open for rope drop. Now I will confess, we did not manage to do rope drop for Magic Kingdom.
We didn't, no.
But we did for others. But you know, it is what it is. We just didn't manage to do it. Sometimes it's just quite difficult to get everyone together and up and out and early as possible when you've already been having busy days. But a few recommendations for Magic Kingdom for ourselves that I would highly recommend you doing is Festival of Fantasy parade.
Yes.
Massive parade, really good, great fun for all ages, absolutely magical, great songs, all the characters, it's absolutely beautiful.
So a little bit of footage now for that.
So yeah, if you want to have a little look at that, we'll put a short clip of the parade and what you can see there for that. Another big show is obviously the ending show, which is called Happily Ever After.
My favourite, absolutely love it. I literally die for it. It's amazing. I can't speak out any more for it. It's brilliant.
So, if you're going to do a full day there and you're going to stay until 11 o'clock and watch the show, I definitely recommend sitting down a couple of times, booking meals. You need to get out the sun and have a break. But you need to arrive about an hour before the show starts.
Yes.
You want to get a good seat. It gets so busy. People are going to be trying to ram you with pushchairs. There is lots of people around. People are not very considerate, so you want to get your seats sorted for that. So yeah, an hour before I'd say, but it is absolutely worth it. Even if you've got young kids, you might think it's going to be an absolutely awfully long day, but it is worth it.
Here's another 30-second footage of Magic Kingdom. Of Happily Ever After.
So rides now, lots of small rides, loads and loads and loads. That was not our focus, so we are not going to go through those because we didn't do them. But if you go on the app, you will find that there is so many indoor small rides suitable for young children. We was more looking for thrill rides. We had lots of teenagers with us, with our niece and nephew also being with us. So we headed straight to Tomorrowland on our first day. And within Tomorrowland, you've got two big rides, which is Space Mountain, and you also have Tron. Both of those are roller coasters that are definitely worth a visit.
Yes, 100%.
Teenagers, or I'd say Chandler was just tall enough, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So children over the age of 7. Both of those are ideal for. There's also lots of smaller rides in that area that may have shorter queues that you can then just jump off those and then go on. But those two are definitely recommendations for rides to do. Sadly, one of our favourite rides was not open while we went there.
Yeah, Big Thunder Mountain.
Yeah, one of our favourite roller coasters. It's such a good fun, but they are renovating it. So that was not open, but it was our first time on Tiano's Bow Adventure.
Yes,
I think it's called. Absolutely brilliant water ride. Cannot recommend it enough. It was so much fun.
check out this drop here.
Yeah, we'll show you some videos. Absolutely brilliant. Have a look at them. So, trying to think of some of the other rides that we did whilst we was at Magic Kingdom.
We've done
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that was good.
Don't go on it if it's a long queue. It's a good, normally 5 to 10 minute queue or a walk on, and I'd recommend it. It's a little boat ride, lots of animatronics and stuff that you can see as you go around, but it's really an enjoyable, and it's for everybody as well, so that's also dead good. Haunted Mansion is also a good go-to for us. And I think really that was all the rides we managed to get on. There is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, isn't there, as well, but we didn't get time to do it this time.
But you're forgetting who we had dinner with?
I'm not forgetting that, so I'll come on to the dining afterwards.
Okay.
So one of the big things, and that's why I touched on making sure that you have the app to sort out reservations for dining, is we had booked a dining reservation at the Crystal Palace, which is a lovely restaurant. It's a buffet, and that allows you dining with Winnie the Pooh and friends. Now, when I originally booked it, I'd started thinking, this seems really expensive, not too sure it's what I wanted to do. I had some funny faces from Lee suggesting that this is not really okay to do because of the price. However, the children absolutely loved it, and
the food was amazing.
The food was good, and you know what? It was just magical. And if I was to go back to Florida again, which I hope so I will, I would do it again. Absolutely loved it.
And here's some footage of
Crystal Palace.
Yeah, who we met and which characters it was. So I've had oven roasted chicken fillet, a seasonal veg and mash, but I did have some roast beef, but I've ate that quickly. Flowers had macaroni and cheese, the chicken strips, rice and what?
Chicken and mashed potato.
And Claire has had
Pasta, broccoli, this is like a spicy chicken fillet and some mashed potato.
Here he is, ew! Oh.
So, overall, I would say we've pretty much, for us, touched on what was key in Magic Kingdom. So there is lots of Disney parks. So there is 4 main parks in total. So you've also got Animal Kingdom, Epcot and Hollywood Studios, along with 2 water parks. The water parks being Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. Now, whilst we was there was only one open, but currently, for the first time in many years, both water parks are actually open. But I don't know whether that's going to be something that will continue, or whether that's just a short-term celebration that Disney are currently offering. So, next park that we'll touch on is Animal Kingdom. That is actually one of my favourite parks because it just has such a nice, slower feel to it. What do you think about Animal Kingdom?
It is. It's more scenic. It's more picturesque there than Magic Kingdom, and it is beautiful. And it's got Kilimanjaro Safari, which Lara's going to speak about now, which is amazing.
Yes, so I can only talk about the things that we've done rather than everything that's there. So the shows that I'd recommend is the Lion King production.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. Second time we've done that show, but it's definitely worth it. Do not miss that show.
And that is available all day as well, though,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's almost run hourly.
Yeah.
So if you go into the park, do not miss it. That is one to do. We also got there for rope drop. Positive for this park is though no transportation.
Yeah.
Get to the car park and you can walk to the entrance. But still, always recommend rope dropping.
Have to rope drop. You rope drop, you're going to get on the biggest rides with a minimalist queue. You mean?
At the start of the day, yeah.
You get, even at rope drop, the queue's 15 minutes long, but it's better than being 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
So if you get there now early, you could even go out in the afternoon and come back in the afternoon. Do you know what I mean? But get there early. That is our biggest tip, is to rope drop things.
Yeah, definitely. And then, so rides that we did, Cali River Rapids,
Yes.
which is a river rapids, it says it in the name, that's good fun. Kilimanjaro Safari, so that is a real safari, literally real safari,
yeah,
around the animals. Now, I was given a tip before I went to do it early because when it gets too hot in Florida, the animals all hide. So we did that, one of the first things that we did when we arrived. And do you know what?
We saw everything.
Yeah, I'll show you a few little parts now, clips of like some of the animals in the safari that you will see, part of the Animal Kingdom.
They only get up to about 3,000 pounds in size. They also have a prehensile upper lip, which is a great way to tell them apart. They'll use this prehensile. Bob was born, he was about 6 feet tall from birth, and he was able to walk within just an hour of life. All day eating food, so they only get about 30 minutes a day for sleep. When these giraffes do sleep, they'll actually sleep fully standing up.
So, yeah, that's the Kilimanjaro Safari, absolutely brilliant.
Sorry.
Avatar, Flight of Passage.
Yes, wow.
We queued
2 hours.
probably 2 hours for that
For
ride.
that.
Oh, I love. It's not the first time I've been on that, but it's
2
definitely
hours.
it's definitely a recommendation. Now, another ride that we've never done that I've heard lots of good press on is the Navi River Journey, which is next to the Avatar, so I definitely recommend it. But that whole area is just a stunning area. Lots of
Unreal.
little photo opportunities. And if you do book the Disney package with the tickets, that will include your photos. So there's lots of nice places to sit down and get some photos done. So I definitely recommend that.
Avatar, sorry, is a must.
Yeah.
Honestly, absolute must.
Yeah, but we also managed to do some different character meet and greets whilst
Yes,
we
we
was
did,
there.
yeah.
So we met like
My favourite, Goofy.
Goofy, Donald Duck and Daisy. God, what are the characters from Up? We met those as well.
Yes.
Doug, is it? And we met Moana.
Yes, we did.
Which the
Real
kids-
life Moana.
Real life Moana, so that was really, really good. Now, we also booked up to go to the Rainforest Cafe whilst we was there. And do you know what? The service was initially not very good. They had us waiting for ages, even though we'd booked. It was a bit of a little mess up by ourselves, or my brother-in-law, shall I say, because we had booked 2 tables of 5, and then when he arrived, they said, "Oh, do you want it just as a table of 10?" And he went, "Yeah." Didn't realise that the queue time was like an hour. So after we'd already been in the park all day, we then waited an hour to get in. But it's a great experience. So I definitely
Be
recommend
mindful on this. Their biggest shock we had was, if you're a table of 6 or more, you have to give a 30% tip of the total bill. And our bill was over $300. So we had to give almost $90 tip. Remember that?
Sounds crazy, doesn't it?
So that's
'Cause
in English money, that's almost like £75 just as a tip.
It's crazy because you would never ever dream of doing that, and especially not in a place that's just like burger and chips food.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, but that is what it is. But yeah, there's no evening show at the Animal Kingdom, although they do a Tree of Life light show. But I think it depends on the time of year that you visit, and that certainly wasn't on while we was there.
You missed Everest.
Everest is a roller coaster. Yeah, that's really, really good. One of our favourites. I'll show you the POV of that actually, because that'll give you a good inkling of the kind of roller coaster that you go on, so you can watch that now.
Down the tracks.
Let's move on now to another Disney theme park, which is Hollywood Studios. Now I know I did say Animal Kingdom was one of my favourites, but Hollywood Studios is up there as well. Again, hopefully you'll get parking quite close to the entrance. That shouldn't be a problem when you arrive at the Hollywood Studios. Really nice theme park, isn't it, with quite a lot of good rides as well. Lots of shows at Hollywood Studios though.
Hollywood Tower of Terror.
Yeah, that's up there as one of the really good rides.
Fantastic ride.
So when we went, we got there early and we tried to bash out as many rides as we can, which was the generalised pattern that we did the whole time we was in Florida, and something that I would certainly recommend. So a couple of the rides that we would definitely recommend would be the Hollywood Tower of Terror. I won't give it away, but it is a really good thrill ride that even younger children can go on. So that's something dead good. It's all based around the Twilight Zone. So if you're into that, it would be something that you might be interested in going on. They have the Rock and Roller Coaster, which is an indoor dark roller coaster, which again, really good, quite thrilling, isn't it?
Based on Aerosmith, but I do believe they are changing at the end of this year, aren't they?
I think it's going to be rethemed to a Muppets Wars ride. I think the roller coaster itself will stay the same, but it's just be rethemed, rebranded for the park. One of the biggest selling points, though, to Hollywood Studios is, of course, the Star Wars land. Now, I am not a Star Wars fan whatsoever. I can't recall any Star Wars films.
Same here. I don't think I've watched any.
However, even without watching Star Wars, you generally know some of the theming and the characters that you would anticipate at Star Wars, such as like the Stormtroopers, Chewbacca. These are like really common characters that are in all the Star Wars films that you would be interested in possibly seeing when you're there, and you will see them pottering around, and they have like character meet and greets, which is dead good. But I'm just going to put this out there and say it, that in terms of theming at Disney, there was no corners missed in the Star Wars area. It is actually unbelievable, out of this world. They've spent money, a lot of money, and as soon as you step into that area, you are just you're transformed into a complete different world.
100%. It's like you get engrossed with it, because even if like we're not Star Wars fans, you still like the scenery and what you're seeing. It's just draws you in, and it's fantastic, isn't it?
Literally no corners missed, and that's all I can say. They've got restaurants themed, the toilets are themed like it, sound effects, music, the whole area is just unbelievable.
And there's photographers everywhere down there.
Literally, even when you go to buy a drink, they're designed in Star Wars themed drinks, like just a normal Coke and a Fanta. Like, it is actually spectacular, even coming from not a Star Wars fan. And I will even say that in terms of the rides. One of the rides, God, I'm trying to think of the name now. Can you remember the names of the rides?
No, but there's a few down there.
There's a few down there. I would recommend, there's two main ones down in the Star Wars area. I would highly recommend at both of them. They're both really good. Even without being a Star Wars fan, they are both good, family friendly rides, but they're actually thrilling and they tell a story, and that's what makes it a lot more interesting. And it's some of the parts of it, you just think, this can't be right, how have they done this? And you start questioning it, like, this is actually spectacular. So yeah, you've got to go there, and it is a must do, even if you're not a Star Wars fan. Not to be missed.
100%.
Put it on your agenda.
Another thing not to be missed at Hollywood Studios is Fantasmic, isn't it, Lala?
Yeah, so that's an evening show based around a lake. I would say that's my favourite of all the shows that Disney offer of an evening. I would say it's the most spectacular, colourful, beautiful. It is just a really, really, really good evening show. So yeah,
that is
do not miss that.
That is all the Disney characters on the stage.
Yeah.
You know, Pinocchio, Cinderella, Snow White, all on the lake, come round in a big boat. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, definitely tune in for that.
Yeah. And there is another Star Wars ride called Star Tours, which is an older ride that I believe was there before they actually built the whole Star Wars area. But yeah, normally that doesn't have long queues, so it's definitely worth a go.
4D motions, not for me.
And then I think for the younger children, even big adult fans, the other key area is got to be Toy Story Land.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Even as an adult, you're going to want to go there, because if you're of similar age to me, you are going to remember all the Toy Story films as children yourself. And so it's quite, it's quite, I wouldn't say spectacular. Yeah, it is just...
Not a short word to use there. It's I don't know, is it overwhelming, or what's going on? I don't know. It's just fantastic. Nostalgic, she's got it.
That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, you are going to feel that as an adult going into that area. I know I felt it, like meeting the characters. The ride times are questionable to whether it's worth it.
But they are for the younger kids, aren't they?
Slinky Dog Dash is one of like the big roller coasters that a lot of young children want to go on. We sadly did not do it this time, because when we were anticipating going on it, it had closed for some maintenance issues. They've got like a teacup type alien ride, and they've got like a Toy Story Mania, it's like shooting, but you can meet your characters down there, have your photos, just walk through the area, and it is a lovely area to go through. So definitely a recommendation to not miss that. But loads of character meet and greets, some of them with not long queues. I mean, we walked straight in with no queue at all to meet the real life Little Mermaid, so that was really nice. But we did do a lot of meet and greets, didn't we, when we went to Hollywood Studios. We managed to meet the Monsters Inc. character, Joy from Inside Out, so yeah, it was really good. A really enjoyable day actually, and we do love the show. I think what the tending pattern of how we did it when we was at Disney is that we tried to do 2 days at each park. So what we would do is we would do like a daytime there, and then we would go back and do a separate day but specifically for the evening, so that you get there for the evening show, so you don't have to do like an open till close. I mean, to maximise your day, do the open and close. If you're 2 adults on your own, you're going to manage it, but young children, hot weather, sometimes it can become unmanageable to stay all day. We had a 2-week period where it was absolutely scorching and it went up to 35 degrees on the hottest day.
Yeah.
I wasn't anticipating that weather. I mean, I know that it's the sunshine state of America, but I was still anticipating clouds, a bit of rain. Everyone knows that Florida is renowned for rain showers. We didn't get that, so we would struggle to have stayed in the theme parks all day in the temperatures. But I think that summarises Hollywood Studios up really for like lots of different shows that you can see actually. So a couple that I managed to do, which I would recommend, is the Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, that was really good.
Again, like, it is a nostalgic performance. All the old songs, all the characters, it's just beautiful. And we also did the Indiana Jones one, didn't we? Which I'd recommend that as well, actually. There's some good stunts in it. And on a hot day when you want a bit of aircon, go right in. You won't have to queue for it. They do multiple times during the day as well. I think the last showing's normally about 4 o'clock or 4:30. Because we did go back into the park to specifically do that show and then stay for Fantasmic. And do Star Wars Land, didn't we? So I think that summarises Hollywood Studios up, doesn't it, really,
it does,
overall? I'll give you a short little bit of footage of the park itself now, so you can have a little look to see what you're going to likely find within the park and what you're going to see.
Woo-wee! That there was definitely Slinky Dog's finest hour.
Oh, very good. So I'm going to show you the Slinky Dog Dash ride. Here we go.
Here we go.
So the last park that's not including a water park that was open whilst we was there is Blizzard Beach. Now, I did touch on it earlier that there is 2 water parks, but the one of which was not open during our stay, which is Typhoon Lagoon. So we're only going to concentrate talking about Blizzard Beach on this occasion, just because that was the park that was open whilst we was there. So a couple of positives for the water parks is you don't pay parking.
Yes, free parking there.
Yeah, so you get there and you don't have to pay, so that's really nice. Now, one thing that we didn't actually know until after we'd left Blizzard Beach is that they actually do provide you with free complimentary towels, so you don't need to take your own, but they will be white and they will be generic, so if you don't want to get confused to where you're sitting, you may want to take your own for coloured purposes, but they do provide free towels. We got there for road drop, didn't we, for Blizzard Beach? We wanted We wanted to get a good spot, best place to sit, so we wanted to be positioned by the wave pool
for the kids,
really.
Our younger ones,
Quite short and sweet, really, about Blizzard Beach. It's an overall all-age water park. Now, there isn't massive amounts of thrill water rides. There is a big kamikaze style water ride, which is really thrilling.
It's very tall.
And one of the unusual things about this park is that, as you may have guessed from the name, Blizzard Beach, but it's all designed in a snow mountain setting. Even to the point that they've got ski like a designed ski slope as a water ride, and you have it's like a skyline, isn't it, that takes you up?
Yeah, it's like a chairlift.
Yeah, chairlift, that's what I was looking for. That will take you up to the ride, which is quite unusual actually. If you want to have a little look at the chairlift, we'll put a little bit of that in at the end of this discussion about Blizzard Beach. But yeah, overall the queues weren't too bad either when we were there, which was also a positive. I was expecting it to be busy because, as I've said about all the other parks, it had been busy.
It has a gigantic kids' water area, doesn't it?
Yes.
It does, doesn't it?
No.
It does.
No, that's a Quaker, Lee.
Sorry, that's a Quaker.
We'll cut that bit out. Yeah, so it has a few different kids areas, one of which is based around the whole Frozen theming, so that's really nice, and you'll sit all up, and Anna and Elsa as little girls in that area. And then they've got a smaller area with a few more slides, and there is also a it's like what's it called when you hold on and then you zoom across?
Oh, like a zip wire.
Yeah, zip line, and then it throws you into the water. So the kids was really, really enjoying that. And the other thing is that they offer and they've got like loads of lazy rivers, and a lazy river that takes you around the whole of the park. It's like 30-minute round trip on it.
And it's nice, actually, nice lazy river, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really nice lazy river, and also they provide life jackets for the kids.
Yes.
Which is a big bonus. You don't have to worry about armbands or anything if you've got weak swimmers. And to be honest, I'd recommend putting them in the life jackets on the lazy rivers. The lazy rivers is on a tube, but some of the kids just find it better to just be in the life jacket. So.
And one last thing at Blizzard Beach is it has changing rooms with showers in.
Yes.
That is a big one, because the day we came home, we actually went to Blizzard Beach because we actually realised that it had showers.
Yeah.
So that was a really big one for us, weren't it?
It was, because we had a late flight and we didn't want to waste the day. To us, it was an extra day on holiday, and we had to leave Rosen in at 11 o'clock anyway. So we stayed until 11, left, and then we went straight to Blizzard Beach, spent the day there, and then had showers and got ready for the airport afterwards. That was really
really good water park, to be fair.
So I've touched on the water park. I'll show you some footage of some of the slides and the ski lift now, so you can see a little bit of how that park operates. And then the final Disney World park is Epcot. So I've always found this is a little bit of an unusual one, because whenever I get there, it's always really hot. So it's, again, car park. There is no transportation, but there is, like, if you've parked quite far away on the car park, that you can get like the land train to the entrance.
But you can get the monorail from Magic Kingdom straight to Epcot.
Yes. So that's another thing within the parks, is that they do have like transportation between the theme parks that you can do. I'm yawning now. So as you arrive, you'll be greeted by a massive globe. It does look very spectacular, very, very interesting. And the biggest thing about this park is there is a huge lake in the middle, and they have like an around the world theming. So as you go around the lake, you enter different countries, and you're going to have England there, and you've got Mexico, and lots of different places, and it is all themed to that country, so it's dead interesting. They've even got Norway, and that represents Frozen. So within that area, you can meet Anna and Elsa, and they've got a Frozen ride as well. So it's dead interesting, actually. Lots of good rides again. I think what you may notice, depending on if you're a big thrill seeker of rides or not so much, that Disney definitely focuses a lot more on theming rather than over focusing on loads and loads of thrill rides. In Epcot though, there is still thrill rides. I'm trying to think of the ones there is. So Guardians of the Galaxy, that's one of the newest rides at
Yes.
Disney World in Epcot. And you should expect to have an over-hour queue if you're going in high season, which we certainly had that queue time when we went on it.
And that was a fantastic ride, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was not what I expected. I don't want to tell you what it was, but it just wasn't what we expected.
I didn't expect it either. It was a first ride for us, so it's always nice when you go on a ride for the first time and experience it, especially if it's not what you're anticipated. We didn't do a lot of rides, I'll be honest, at Epcot. We again did go on 2 occasions. We did the Soaring Around the World.
That's a really good one, yeah. Really
I'd
good
recommend that one. Couple of rides that we didn't do on this occasion was Ratatouille and Frozen Ever After, but both of those rides we have done, and certainly if you have the time, I would recommend doing them because they are good little rides, family orientated, so definitely do those. But I think the best way to talk about Epcot is just go around the world and just go at your own pace, do it slowly, and just whatever takes your fancy, go on it, because you'll find that some of the rides don't have long queues, and that's quite nice to be able to do that. And then if you are able to stay late, then stay to watch the
Epcot Forever, the fireworks at 9 p.m. They are over the lake, so you can go anywhere around in the circle of Epcot, basically. It goes all the way around the lake, so you can position yourself anywhere around it, and you'll get a fantastic view of all the fireworks going over the lake. The Epcot globe lights up as it obviously gets dark. That sparkles and glitters, absolutely beautiful. And then obviously you leave the park, and it's just take me back to Disneyland. Honestly, I love it there.
It was the garden festival when we were there, I think it was.
Yeah.
Flower and garden festival. So there was lots of like topiary bushes that was all designed and themed around all the Disney characters. So we saw the Seven Dwarfs, didn't we?
We did, yes.
Moana.
We were in Moana Gardens there.
Oh yeah, the Moana Gardens. So that's one of the newest attractions actually. That's good that you pointed that out. Definitely, you won't have a queue for that. On a hot day it's great because there's loads of like water interactive activities for the kids. They can run through water. You may get wet if you want to, obviously. But yeah, so that is pretty much all of the Disney World theme parks that are on offer. So all in all, if they're all open, there is 5. The only last thing that's worth a mention is Disney Springs.
Yes.
So that is a entertainment and shopping complex that is obviously part of Disney. They free parking there as well, and lots of shops.
Oh, loads.
It's really definitely worth a visit. You will have a really nice time when you go there. If you go for a morning, an afternoon or an evening, there's always something going on. It's really vibey as well, especially if you go on a weekend. It's dead busy. But even just going in World of Disney, which is like the biggest Disney store, you'll just be mesmerised on like how much is on offer and things that you can purchase.
It's just amazing, isn't it? It's like you just get like engrossed with it all and overwhelmed with everything in there, don't you?
Yeah, it was really fun. Loads of different places to eat. I don't think we ate when we was meant to eat at the T-Rex cafe, but we cancelled it because we had already dined at a few other places that we felt would be quite similar. So we just had a little browse around there to have a little look at the theming and the designs and the dinosaurs really that are in there. I'd say you don't need to do Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex. I think the menu is like for like.
Yeah, it is.
But just slightly different.
I think it's just their own branded, basically.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering who this is Thomas. Mm-hmm. He's 14 years old and one of the family is.
He is. He's part of one of the Scaldons.
He is, mate. And, you know, he that desperate, he's come and sat himself down to get in the middle of the camera. So, yeah.
It's a shame you don't come on our travels with you, do you, Tom?
So, that brings us to the end of us talking all things Disney, basically.
Yes. During this video, the only other little things that I want to touch on is the hotel Rosie's Inn. Just because I know we talked about how we booked the hotel, the package that we booked it, but we didn't really touch on the hotel itself. Now, on our channel and on our sister channel, which is Trip with the Skeldons, you will find a full walking tour of the Rosen Inn if that is a hotel that you are considering looking. So go and check that out. There is a playlist on there that you can see, and you'll be able to find a bit more information. But for me, would I stay at Rosen Inn again is the question, and I would stay at it.
100%.
I think the location is their biggest selling point, location and budget, and I think that really, really makes it stand out from the crowd, because you can walk to Icon Park, you can walk to McDonald's, you can walk to, what was the place that was across the road? Coral. There's a restaurant across the road.
Is it Lake Coral or something like that?
Yeah.
And really good in there. It's
Buffet.
like buffet, yeah. Over the other side of the road, there's a place called CC's Pizza.
Buffet.
$10 each per person.
There's a wasp
I
in
don't know where
there.
he's got in. $10 per person. Unlimited pizza, unlimited soft drinks.
Do you know, it was really good value. It's literally across the road. So yeah, literally within walking distance, you've just got loads. You've got Denny's, IHOP. Yeah, there's so much more. If you
Dinky Donuts.
Yeah, if you keep walking down, yeah, there's even more places. Both left or right, you sport for choice. Across the road, there's a Walgreens supermarket as well. And your little touristy shops as well to get some souvenirs, Florida t-shirts, fridge magnets, or your Florida tat, shall I call it? But yeah, it's all on offer. Obviously as well, if you've got a car, it offers free parking, and there is a restaurant on site which is a buffet. They do a breakfast buffet, they do an evening buffet, and they then have it's like a snack bar, isn't it? But you can get like a pizza, you can get like chicken strippers and chips.
All at fantastic value.
Yeah, all at really good value, and they serve it till quite late at night. Other bonus thing that they do is they do happy hour, 2 for 1 on drinks.
Yes.
And they'll even let you purchase them and then come back and get your drink actually outside of the happy hour window. So they don't pour it.
We've done that a couple of times, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We had one pint at like 5 o'clock, and then
during the happy hour
and then
window.
we'd come back at like 8:30 and sit in their garden area again and have another pint, and we've already paid for it.
Yeah, get our buy one get one free back.
That was
then.
fantastic.
So later on, we don't actually have to then pay for the second load of drinks, so that works out really good.
The only thing with Rosen Inn International is the rooms are a little bit dated, aren't they?
Yeah, so that is probably the biggest downfall, is it is a very dated room, and I did find that there was a smell. It wasn't unpleasant like at all, but it felt like a damp smell slightly, and that could be because there is carpet in the rooms, which I find quite old-fashioned.
And there's 2 swimming pools there, so people are just getting in the swimming pool, getting in them obviously soaked, walking back, and then throwing the towels on the floor and everything, and then they're leaving them, and then just soaking into the carpet. So
yeah, but you know, they would come and change your beds, they would clean your room and stuff. I'd definitely go back. The pools were really nice. Free towels by the pools.
So you've got an arcade in there?
Got an arcade in there, playground. I'd definitely recommend it. There's like a microwave as well in your room, and a fridge, and we did pop to Walmart and we purchased ourselves a kettle and a toaster, and we used the kettle actually for just getting hot water for noodles, because I don't drink hot drinks, but I had bought a whole suitcase full of food.
But the toaster cost us $10, the kettle cost us $25.
The kettle was a little bit more,
but we left it. I put a message on Facebook the day we left, and I said they're free. Within 20 minutes, someone was knocking our door, weren't they? And took it off us.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
if you can recycle there, then do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was pleased to be able to offer that and do that to some of the people that had just arrived on the holiday. But yeah, 100% would return to Rosen Inn. I'd like to see them maybe pump a little bit money into the rooms and update them a little bit, but it doesn't spoil the holiday, and I think you do pay for what you get. Like, I think a lot of people that go to Rosen Inn are looking for that budget, and you certainly do get value for money in that hotel, definitely. So yeah, 100% I'd recommend it. The cleaners were a bit hit and miss. Like, the one day we come back to the room and only one of the beds had been changed and made, and the other one was left a mess, which I thought was a little bit odd. And then sometimes that hadn't like properly cleaned the bathroom. I think it's probably because we hadn't left them a tip. So there were some times that they didn't clean the bathroom as well. But again, like I don't think that we actually. I think if we'd have tipped them, they would have done it a lot better, and I'd have probably been coming in a little bit more frequently and being sure that they are to finish changing the beds and making everything really spotless. There was one day when they looked like they did a deep clean, wasn't it? But only one time in the 2 weeks.
So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the pools area of the hotel, and we'll show you the quick room tour of our one of our previous videos, and we'll put that in now so you can see the rooms and what they look like.
And here we go. Chair, 2 double beds. It's very messy, apologies. Lots of storage space. The kettle, not provided. We have purchased that from Walmart. And in here is the bathroom area. As you can see, we do have a toaster and a fridge. I've put all my food, extra stuff, bought some plates with me. They replenish the towels every day. Hair dryer included. And that's the bathroom. You go in and shut the door so you can have a feel of the space that it provides. Quite small. Shower, bath, and a toilet. All you need really. Now, let's take you to the main part, which is the pool areas. Oh, also apologies. Iron and an ironing board available. And let's go outside now. This pool area, as you can see. That brings us to the end of all the information that I want to share with you. We are going to do a part 2, and that is going to focus on SeaWorld, Aquatica and Busch Gardens, give you loads of tips, tricks and hints on what they offer. And we are and we'll also go through some of the restaurants that we went and ate at on International Drive and any other activities that we would recommend in Orlando, Florida for part 2.